and welcome to Insider's View. I'm your host, Melissa Handrahan. Today we have in studio an executive from the Ontario PC Party. He's Mr. Jag Badwal, Regional Vice President of GTA West. Welcome.
Thank you, Melissa.
And first, may I start by saying a hearty congratulations because your candidate, Patrick Brown, has just won the leadership.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I sincerely appreciate it, yes.
I want to start with, all the bullets that you took. It was really difficult, I think, to be in your position and be against the grain, to support Patrick wholeheartedly from day one, and talk a little bit about the challenges first before we get into the victory celebration.
That's correct. Yeah, Melissa, when Patrick actually hadn't even announced that, so he was thinking about it, so we did talk a little bit about it, and I just told him wholeheartedly. I said, Patrick, I'm with you, no matter what decision you make, whether you want to run or don't want to run, but I'm with you. And then he did decide to run, and we did encourage him. I said, we need a change. We don't want the same status quo. We don't want the same old. And I'm glad that Patrick took that on. And now we see the results. And the bullets that we're talking about is sometimes, what happened, that's what you have to do, right? And you believe in something and you believe in someone, and you've got to support wholeheartedly. And I didn't care about much what was happening. I was just thinking that, I'm with you. It doesn't matter what happens.
So loyalty was a big factor in helping Patrick to win. He was an outsider coming into this race, and he brought along a lot of supporters, but he brought in a lot of new supporters. Yeah. Let's talk about the changing face of the PC Party.
Actually, I'm really excited to see that change, because I sat on the executive and we lost election after election. We kept on saying that GTA or Ontario is not the same. Federally, we did a great job of reaching out to the communities, and provincially we didn't. And Patrick, this is his passion, and this has come through. He doesn't come in there to take a picture and then put it on Facebook, and then that's about it. Patrick has been coming to these ridings, to the communities, long before, right? And that is the kind of bridges he has built into different communities. And this is what the end result is today. He is the leader of Ontario PC.
Let's talk about the excitement level that he's raised within the party. It's a big deal to have perhaps the South Asian community or all cultural communities for which he's accrediting a lot of his success to. It's a big celebration for them in breaking through that glass ceiling. Let's talk about the impact that that's having.
I think it going to have a huge impact, because I think that in the last election as well, because we didn't reach out, even during the election, forget about it before, during the election as well, we didn't reach out to as much as we should have to the communities. I have to reach out before somebody can grab my hand. And nobody did that, and we didn't do a great job. And building these bridges and communities, and the people buy into our message. And this is what will happen in the next election when you come in. You need a strong leader who can build bridges and maintain those bridges into communities. And it's an exciting day for a lot of different communities, actually, and Patrick mentions a few of them, and in his speech he couldn't name all of them, but can you imagine, he can speak that kind of language, and he's the only leadership candidate was there who could speak English and French. He's a francophone, so I think he's done a great job.
A lot of benefits to Patrick Brown, not only in the GTA, but also he mentioned the North.
That's right.
So let's talk about what it is about Patrick. Is it his leadership skills? Is it his personality? Is it his message for change? Or is it specific, something in his policy? Do you find that Patrick's more to the right, to the left, to the center? What is it about Patrick that's so appealing?
I think that Patrick is energetic, has passion. Because when he meets with somebody and you know that he's just not about talk. He walked the talk and talked the walk. So especially we touched a little bit about Northern Ontario. We didn't have a debate. Leaders didn't go and participate in the debate in Northern Ontario. We completely ignored it, and then we thought that why the results the way they are. It's a great message Patrick has sent out, reached out to the North. And I would say to all the communities in Ontario, they're all equally important. And especially, reached over the north, because we have actually ignored for a long time. And I think it's time that we start looking after and reaching out to the communities and building bridges, no matter it's north, west, east, but particularly north. I was really pleased to see that he addressed that issue today.
Okay. So now that he's the leader of the Ontario PC Party, what are some of the things that we could look forward to and expect from him?
I think, any time, Melissa, when leadership happens, there is also some hurt feelings and the both sides, and somebody wins and somebody loses. So the biggest thing that Patrick, immediate job is to get the team together and the caucus together and become as unified, strong team, so that we can communicate the same message. That's the one thing that he has to do right away, and he knows that. I think he's continuing to do that, and after that, then the rebuilding will start from there.
Well, we need to take a short break, but when we return, we're going to ask Mr. Jag Badwal a little bit more about how his workings with Mr. Patrick Brown were really like. Welcome back. We're in conversation with Jag Badwal, and you are a very important part of Patrick Brown's campaign. What specifically was your role?
Well, I told Patrick, I said, wherever you need me, I'm here to help. So we did a lot of things. It's not particularly one role. We're reaching out to the communities, messaging, or anything like what I was assigned to do, and we did it. And the biggest part of that is whenever he needed some advice or some help, and we communicated. Yeah. Now
tell me a little bit more about this working relationship. What was it really like?
It was just amazing. Patrick is such a person that he will always engage. And this is one of the reasons when we look at his leadership, his communication style, that he will reach out to each and every one of them, no matter what the roles are in the campaign. And it was really exciting, actually, when you know that he's working for 14 hours and 18 hours, and you're getting a message at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm saying, when did you sleep?
Yes.
Right? And then 4 o'clock is saying, you get another message. I said, so these are the kind of, I admire his work ethic. I admire his commitment, and I admire his the passion that he does. And there was an amazing relationship that we had.
Well, what was the campaign atmosphere like? Was it stressful at times?
Well, usually, there are some times, because when get out of the vote maybe, or the other issues that happen, yes, sometimes it's stressful. And but then again, this is the part of the campaigns are. It's a roller coaster ride. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're low, right? But as long as you maintain that momentum and constant effort and aim for the goal, I think everything else becomes irrelevant.
Now, is Patrick going to give a lot of the credit to the campaign team, because the establishment really thought that Christine was going to win? So is it 50-50, or is it mostly the campaign team? What do you think it is?
I think, campaign did a phenomenal job, because you can't do it alone. And Patrick's one thing was because his grassroots reach. The people that, no matter what happened, but in the grassroots, when you look at it, the results were coming in, some of them, we were thinking that, oh my God, right? And we were surprised, pleasantly surprised. But this is if you really, people wanted a change. People didn't want the same status quo. People didn't want same old stuff. They wanted a real change, and this is what they looked into the Patrick. And this is why, we see the results today.
So now that Patrick has won a lot of the ridings, how difficult is it going to be to bridge perhaps the gap between the caucus members that weren't supporting him, and so we don't have a repeat of, say, a John Tory?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think I believe in Patrick's leadership style. As I said before, he is the kind of person he will reach out to everybody. So I think that's the rebuilding has already started. and if we have to defeat liberals, we have to come together. We have to work together. We have to unite and stay united and have a message, common message. So I know Patrick, and I know that his work ethics, and I know that how he can reach it to different. The people maybe agree or disagree, and I know his style, and I think that he's already started that.
If you had to give Patrick a piece of advice, what's the one thing that you would tell him?
Keep on doing what you have been doing, reaching out, building bridges, and the messaging, right? And reach out to everybody.
Do you think Mr. Brown will continue to work all those late hours and long hours?
Considering him, I think he will probably, because he is a workaholic. He has 2 drinks, Diet Coke and Red Bull. Those are the 2 things that keep him going.
Okay, well, when he was on our show, he also said chai was on that list.
Okay,
so there you go.
I stand corrected then.
Well, when we come back after this short break, we're going to speak with Mr. Badwal about what the Ontario PC Party really needs to do to win in the next election. Welcome back. We're in conversation with Mr. Badwal, and of course we want to know, from your perspective, because you're a behind-the-scenes worker and executive of the party, what does the party really need to do to win in the next election?
Great question, Melissa. I think that the one thing that Patrick has already started building the party, uniting the party together. That's number 1, paramount right now. And the second thing we have to do, I look after the GTA West ridings. The ridings has to be stronger as well, because the ridings are the messengers, from the party to the grassroots level. If they're not strong, then again the same old will come back again. Mm-hmm. So my thinking is that the Patrick, once the rebuilds and reach out to the caucus, and then we start rebuilding the riding associations as well, and then the message goes to the grassroots.
Now, Kathleen Wynne's government seems to be very happy with Patrick's win, because I think that they are underestimating his ability. What is it that's really her weakness that the Ontario PC Party really should be going after?
Well, how many I can name? To gas scandal, to e-health scandal, and continuing on. And now the teachers are on strike. And so I think that the last election, what happened, she didn't win. Actually, we lost the election, because that's what happened. And so I think that there are a lot of things I can continue on, but your audience, I think everybody knows. But the main focus for us is to show the vision to the Ontarians, okay, what we are all about. And that's how you're going to win. Speaking about the teachers' strike, there's one issue that's very contentious in the South Asian community, and I have to talk about it, because same-sex education or curriculum is really detested amongst new immigrants. Is there anything that the party can do to try and reverse this? Well, I think the best way that Patrick has to answer that question, he's the leader of the party now, but in my personal opinion, I think that the parents are the best teachers for the kids to teach about the values and stuff like that. And it's not there was no consultation. It was forced upon the parents, okay, you accept this or else. So my thinking and personal opinion is that the parents, they should have involved the parents, got their feedback, and then they rolled out curriculum, whatever they want to do. But this is not exactly what happened. But now they're saying that we're going to go ahead and do it. But parents, as you know, they're up in arms against it. And let's see. Hopefully that the parents can put the pressure and see the changes that whatever needed to be done, and they can accomplish that. We have invited a lot of Liberals to come in and speak about this on our show, and they've refused for obvious reasons. Do you think that the Liberals are running scared? Oh yes, you bet. I think that majority of the cases is your local MPPs, and they are your voice, take it to legislation. So I think that they have to answer. Either they can say, okay, you know what, I'm just towing the party line, or I'm just responsible to the grassroots, people who elected me. So they are the one who has to answer that question as to who are they listening to, right?
So just staying on this subject, if there's you know, something that can be done to put the pressure to go and visit your local MPP, this issue is not going to continue by the time the next election comes.
Yeah.
People are going to forget about this. So while this is now legislation, is there something that can be done to you know, not stop it, but you know, keep the issue alive?
Yes, it is. I think the parents at this moment are doing a phenomenal job, because keeping the issue in the forefront. And this is what we have to do. I can tell you one thing, the change can happen with one person only. If Mahatma Gandhi can bring a change as a one person, and that's what we have to do. I think keeping the issue alive, and also you know, we've got to look at in a way that that we put on the message, let the people understand it, what we disagreeing with.
Yeah.
So if we don't tell them that, then it's just lost in the echo of the whole thing. So I would encourage anybody, like, I mean, anything can be changed, but you have to be persistent and just write to your local MPPs and keep a pressure on.
Okay. And the final question is for you. With the position that you hold, what is it that you aspire to within the Ontario PC Party? What role do you see yourself playing?
Well, that's yeah, you know, Melissa, when I got elected in 2011, I was asked to run. Think about running, because you have done a lot of community work in here, and it was not thinking about it at that time. But they said, okay, no problem. You think it's a great idea because I see some of the things that didn't work in the riding associations, didn't work that we should have been. So hopefully that contributed a small change into that. And I think that this year there is an AGM is going to be happening, probably near the end of this year. And so I have to just really think about it, because it's a lot of time and commitment and energy, because it's a family time, and I am the kind of person that who would do it 150%, and I just don't do it 50. So it's a long commitment. So I'm going to think about it and really hard and talk to my supporters and my family, and then make a decision accordingly.
Okay, but your family is on board
yes.
to supporting you.
Oh yes.
Do they also have an interest in politics the way you do?
Oh no, they don't.
No.
No, I have a young family. They have 2 daughters and my wife, and but you know, this is how it's. Without her support, I wouldn't be able to do this, because you know, sometimes you have to pick up the kids and you got to drop off the kids and bulk the stuff. She does, and I can tell you honestly, without her support, and I wouldn't be able to do anything what I do right now.
Okay, well, it's always good to give kudos to your wife, so pat on the back for that, Jeg. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. I hope you'll come again, and good luck with all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
That's it for now. I'm Melissa Handrahan.